Hey guys, today I'm sharing with you my recipe for my homemade Popeyes biscuit. Now, I don't know about you, but I am a huge, one, a biscuit lover, and two, a Popeyes biscuit lover, and just Popeyes in general, okay? But this biscuit is soft, it's fluffy, it's got that amazing, just, it's moist, and it's just salty like it should be. It's divine. Let's go right ahead and get started. Also, it's extremely easy to make. Just a handful of ingredients. In a bowl here, I'm going to go ahead and add in my flour. I am using just regular all-purpose flour. I'm adding in 2.5 cups. And to that, I will be adding in some salt. Now, if you know Popeyes biscuits, it has this nice salty flavor, so you're definitely going to need about 3/4 teaspoon of salt, as well as 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. You're also going to need 3 tablespoons of sugar. I am using pure cane sugar. And we're going to take a fork and mix together those dry ingredients really well until all of that baking powder and baking soda and salt and everything is evenly distributed. Take about a minute or so to make sure everything is really well incorporated together. Next, I have 1 stick of cold butter. You can use salted or unsalted, it really doesn't matter at this point. And I'm just going to cut this up into little cubes. And I'm going to add this into my flour. I'm going to mix together that butter and roll it around in that flour first, so it makes it easier when we're starting to pinch that flour and that butter together. We want that flour and that butter to become kind of like one consistency. So I'm just going to take about 3 to 4 minutes and really press in that butter into that flour. You can use a pastry cutter if you want to. I just always use my hands. You do want to have some little chunks of butter running through, but I like to make sure at least most of that butter is incorporated and the flour will start to look a little more yellow in color from that butter going through it. Alright, so you can see the color is it's a little pale yellow, and there's still a little bit of chunks of butter running through, but everything is beautiful, it's incorporated. I've pressed all of that butter in as best as I can. Now, my ingredient for making these super amazing and fluffy is some yogurt. I'm using just vanilla yogurt here. You want some plain or vanilla yogurt works great. We're going to need 1 cup of this yogurt. And to my bowl here, I'm going to go ahead and add in my 1 cup of yogurt. I'm going to take a spatula and kind of just work and press that yogurt into the flour just to incorporate everything so it all becomes one as best as it can at this point. So I've mixed it in as best as I can. I pressed that yogurt in. And now I'm just going to take all of this dough and get everything off your bowl and place it on your countertop. Now we are going to gently bring this in together. It's going to take about 1 to 2 minutes from start to finish at this point. We're just going to make sure and fold this dough over on itself until we start incorporating all of that flour. Once everything starts coming together, we're going to use the back of our wrist to gently knead this. This is not a roll, a dinner roll or anything, so you definitely don't want to over knead this, but it does need a slight bit of kneading just to incorporate this dough together. And you just want to do that until you see all of the flour is incorporated. Once you see that your counter is mostly clear and all that flour is picked up and part of the dough, you don't need to do any more kneading. I'm going to kind of level this off with my hands. I'm going to sprinkle about a tablespoon of flour on the top and bottom. So about a half a tablespoon on top, half a tablespoon at the bottom. Just so nothing sticks. I'm going to flatten this out with my hand until it's about a half of an inch thick. And then I'm going to be using one of my toddler's cups because that seemed like a good size for me. It's about 3.5 to 4 inches in diameter. You can use a knife if you just want to cut these in squares, which is what I typically do. So I am using my toddler's cup here. Again, it's about 3 to 4 inches in diameter, about 3.5. And I'm just pressing this cup straight down. You don't want to wiggle the dough. You just want to go straight down, and then I'm rubbing it against my counter. Once it goes down, just to loosen it up. I'm not actually wiggling my dough. I'm just rubbing it against my counter just to make a clear cut and just placing it in my baking dish. You want to make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees. Again, I'm not really wiggling this dough, I'm just shaking it against the counter to make sure that it's a clear cut. Or you can just take a knife, which is also a very easy way, and make little squares out of this. This is going to bake in your oven at 400 for about 23 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes or so. And when it comes out of the oven, it's going to be nice and golden brown, and you're just going to brush butter all over it, all on the top, the sides, the corners, and you can even serve with butter in the center, serve with some jelly. They're divine. I hope that you guys give this recipe a try. Not only is it super easy to make, but it's also super delicious. It's one of the easiest biscuit recipes you can make, in my opinion. Just a handful of ingredients, and the outcome, the result, is just absolute perfection. It is soft, it's crunchy on the top and the bottom, soft and fluffy on the inside with amazing flavor. It's got a hint of sweetness and a hint of saltiness. It is just perfection in every bite. I hope you try it, and if you try it and you enjoy it, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.